So hey everyone. So this video I have is actually one from TYT. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen it, and I'm gonna give my opinion on it and let you guys hear what's going on. Hopefully you guys can see this well, and let's start it.
Hire a wider range of folks, and sometimes it goes wrong, and Jimmy's one of those examples. So, I found out recently about an incident that happened while he was working here, and now the person that's talking about it is Jimmy. So he has been attacking us online over and over again with nothing but lies and smears, some of which I'm going to show you right.
I'm gonna stop it right there. So I don't know. Well, I follow them on, Twitter and whatnot, and I look here and there, and then, obviously what it is other people are saying and things that are being done. And I wouldn't say that that is 100% the truth. From what I've seen, what he has said about Assange, and plenty of other people, Jimmy, saying things about Mate, Aaron Mate, and saying how he's working with the Russians and all this. So just take that and put it in the back of your mind for a moment.
Right now. But we still held back, and of course it's frustrating. He was a friend, or at least I thought he was, to me and to a lot of people here, and we've been a little shell-shocked by not the disagreements. Who cares? We had disagreements when he was here. That's not an issue at all. But by, honestly, the lies and the smears and the attacks that were deeply personal in nature. So both Anna and I got frustrated, and at one point she sent him a DM that Jimmy's going to talk about in this clip that we're going to show you. And it was basically saying, look, we know all these things about you that we haven't shared before, in a way of saying, we are holding back while you're going nuts.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have no humanity or decency. And then you're about to...
I had never talked about it with Jake until very recently, because for obvious reasons. And so I sent him that DM because the harassment has continued.
So the DM that they're referring to, and this is actually what Jimmy has put on his show, and it was a recent episode too, I think from like 2 days ago from, the time I'm making this video. And it was pretty much her trying to use, so she was over here saying that he like sexually harassed her and was saying, oh, well, you over here asked, where did I get my jeans so you could buy them for your wife? And, you made a compliment on, my body and this and that. But obviously, if you guys were to watch the video, you would see that Jimmy actually said that she had her students in, and that's what they're going to refer to a little bit later. But he was saying that she had her students into the newsroom, whatever, and she bent over. She had this like flowy kind of, not like a pencil skirt, but like one of those flowy skirts, and it was short. She bent over. We seen everything. We seen thongs and everything. All right. And she's saying that, oh, well, that didn't happen, and he's a pervert. He was looking at my skirts. But then this whole situation that's happening with the Young Turks, TYT, and Jimmy is all just, it's a lot of craziness that's happening, because you have them over here saying, oh, that didn't happen. We're these kind of up and up people, and he's lying, and he's over here a con artist, as Jenkins said, and he's not to be trusted. He's conning you guys, and most of his followers are right-winged and this and that and the third, right? And he both of them actually, they go out of their way to just make like these crazy attacks, just constantly smearing him, smearing his guests, not really listening to what it is that he is putting out in content, as opposed to them just smearing him because they don't like him, and they don't like the fact that, and in my opinion, this is what it boils down to. You have him being independent, as he calls himself, a pothead comedian. You have him being independent, not having to work for anyone else, right? And they don't like that because they have bosses. he doesn't have a boss. He is his own boss. He gets to determine what it is that he says, how he says it, when he says it. He doesn't have to go into some fancy, schmancy area and dress up and do all this and do all that, because people already know who he is. He's not pretending to be anyone else. And that is the situation that they find themselves in. And it's a lot of projection that I'm noticing, because they're over here saying, oh, well, we're not this kind of people. We believe in, women and, believe women, misogyny, is bad and all, whatever. Right. But that's not what, if you watch some of his videos, his recent one actually, where he's showing how TYT used to do their shows, where they'll have crock shots, guess the penis size and breast size. And they're talking about, she's so ugly. Oh, this woman, look at her thighs. Look at this. Oh, look at her. Oh, well, let's use you. I'm your boss and I'm telling you to use your feminine influence to get what it is that you want. And it's just a lot of that I'm seeing. And I feel like in the long term, it's actually going to, well, not even in the long term, now is weakening the credibility. People are going to just stop watching. People are not going to want to continue to support them. And that is something that I'm noticing is happening. And I'll go into all that, but let me go to this part. This is the email or DM that she's referring to.
And I'll tell you why this is a big mistake on her part. She says, I'm sure you remember when you constantly made inappropriate comments about how sexy you found me at work, and even felt the need to ask me where I shop for my jeans so you can buy a pair for your wife so she dresses better.
Thank you.
That was followed by an apology card you wrote me for the degrading harassment. I've been holding back, letting you run your mouth nonstop as if you're some sort of warrior for what's good in the world. That's going to change. So now she's, instead of saying I'm paid by the Russians or saying I'm working for Assad, she's now going to try to pretend I sexually harassed her when I was at the Young Turks.
Now, I give you that as a lead into what he's about.
And I'll stop it right there real quick. With this part, it's like they're weaponizing sexual harassment, because what I would say and what he said, if he's this huge predator that you describe him to be, and you're saying that he's harassing women and, oh my goodness, fear for your lives because this guy is on the move, he's coming. Well, wouldn't you just fire him? Wouldn't you report him to HR? Wouldn't you, call the cops if he's this bad? And, he also says, I didn't know, she didn't tell me until now, and no one else. But why would you? So after that moment, were you ever buddy? And this is a question I have. After that moment, were you ever like buddy, like, yeah, we're besties still, or are you just trying to make something out of nothing? That is what I have a question about, but let me continue it.
The story he's about to tell you, okay? So he claims and laughs about how Anna was pretending that he was sexually harassing her. Then we don't have to say anything else. Let Jimmy tell you what he thinks happened.
I'll tell you this story. The story about that was followed by an apology card you wrote me for degrading harassment. Anna Kasparian used to dress, when I worked there, unbelievably inappropriately for a newsroom. She looked like she was going to a rave. The skirt, one time she came into the newsroom with a skirt so short. It wasn't a pencil skirt. It was like a fluffy one too, but so short that she bent over in front of me and I literally saw her ass and her thong. She's wearing a thong. I literally saw it. Everybody saw it. And I go, hey, Anna, nice news skirt. And everybody laughed. Like they laughed louder than I thought they would. And so it humiliated her. She got humiliated in the middle of the newsroom. And I did it. And I felt bad. At that time, we were friendly. And I was just busting her balls, right? For dressing like that in the newsroom. You're going to bend over and show me your ass? I think that's a little... I'm not offended, but I think that's a little risque. Imagine if I did that. I walked around showing my ass to everybody. So when I did that, so she got really mad. She got humiliated. Her face turned red. She tried to insult me back, and it just fell flat. And she looked, bad. And I felt bad for her. I didn't want to make her feel that, but I just wanted to make a little joke. And all I said was, "Hey, Anna, nice new skirt," and everybody in the newsroom, because everybody saw how inappropriate she dresses. She used to dress. And everybody saw it. And so that's why it got such a huge laugh, and she was so humiliated.
So he just tells the story, like, haha, I humiliated her then, and now I'm going to tell you a story of how funny it was that I tried to humiliate her. Now...
All right, so that was it of that clip that I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, so that was it of that clip that I want to show you guys for that. So I just want to give my opinion on the rest of it and how I feel about it. I don't know. I find that they're trying to twist themselves up, or I guess they have twisted themselves up into like a little pretzel, if you know what I mean. Because you're telling me that, yes, she was so hurt, with the sexual harassment, and she claimed it happened multiple times, but there's no receipts to prove any of this as well. But you claim it happened multiple times. You kept having him on your show. And on your show, you would have segments that you yourself made degrading women. I mean, you're calling them, the B word. You're saying that, oh, they're so ugly. Oh, look at her. Oh, I can't believe that. They had one segment where it was like a cheerleader. And she went to gym. And she had, bigger arms or whatnot because she worked out and she went to the gym. She lifted weights and whatnot. And they were like, oh, that's a man. That's a man. That's a man. That's a man. That's one step up, I guess, for Maury. If we're going to be real, like everyone knows what Maury is, where they have like the lie detector has determined, oh, you are telling a lie, and all that stuff with the baby mama drama and all that. That is where I feel like they have really wanted their stuff to go to, as much as they try to make it seem like, no, that's not, we're on up and up, we're only giving you real news stories and this and that and then a third. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's where you guys think that by being like trashy, like TMZ in that zone where it's like you're into the drama and all that kind of stuff. It's like you think that doing that, maybe that's what started you guys. Excuse me. Maybe that is what started you guys. Maybe that is what got TYT out there. And then you guys want to switch your context and, content and everything. But it's like, but that's what you started out on. And what I found to be interesting was, Anna actually put up a video where I think it was like their members only portion of it or whatever. And it was over here saying like, oh, well, I don't want that kind of negativity here. I love my subscribers and I love my supporters. But if you're going to be doing that, then we don't want you, this and that. She's blocking people. I've seen it. She's like blocking people. They're like constantly attacking. And the reason why is because, and this is what the main thing is. They are outbeating him on live viewership, as well as, people are not buying into their BS that they're trying to sell. They've been trying to sell this BS for a while. I mean, really a while now, especially, and I noticed that the change and the shift in this is where the hatred or whatever started growing, was with the forced to vote. And then you have the TYT, not like, oh, I don't want to do it. But then you have Jink the next day be like, oh, well, we gotta put some pressure on them. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. And it's like, well, why weren't you doing that before? Why were you telling me not to do that until after things have already passed? And then you're like, okay, well, you should have done it, but oh well, And at the end of the day, what you're not understanding is not everyone has. I mean, there's a reason why we're doing Medicare for all. There's a reason why we want universal health care for people, and that is because people don't have it in the US. I mean, if you look at a lot of other countries that are similar to ours, most of them have healthcare. And it's not this crazy thing where the healthcare is attached to whatever position you are in your job. It's not like this crazy thing where it's like, oh, well, if you lose your job, then, I mean, that's also why you have a lot of people who are not satisfied with their job positions in their jobs at all in general. And that's because you have, I mean, if I lose it, then I lose my benefits, which those two are just supposed to be two completely separate things, and it's like TYT has has been seen now as a fraud. They're telling you this and that, but then their information isn't 100% accurate because we see where they're getting their money from. And then if you get, what was it, $20 million from, corporate donors or whatnot, how are you getting $20 million and then you're sending people messages to this day and you're asking them for money? I don't get that. If I got $20 million right now, I'm not asking you for money. Now, obviously, if you want to support me still, I mean, cool. I'll put it in the description, but I'm not going to be making it a vocal thing every single time. And saying that, we rely on you guys. We rely on you guys. We need you. But then it's like, do you really even need me? Because of all the money that you've gotten? I don't know. I just feel like they've just really been exposed for who they are. And it has just come to a point where now it's like, now I just have to, dig in and find some stuff. Now I got to go in my archives and I got to get my shovel out and start digging up some stuff and try to find anything, because now my credibility has been lost. It has been tainted, and I was even looking on Twitter earlier and about this whole thing and everything, and I found some other people, and you have a lot of people. You could say, yes, they're trolls, they're this, they're that, whatever. I'm just looking at it for what it is, and I'm seeing that a lot of people are, they're just like, it's hard for me to believe anything you're saying now, just because. I mean, you're calling people crazy, but then you're yelling in the airport. You're saying this, but then you're doing that. And it's like, it's very wishy-washy. And I feel like that's also a reason why people are just they're not messing with you, man. That's what it is. They're not messing with you anymore because they can't trust you. And not only that, but I mean, you guys are people who have health care. You guys are people who have money. You guys got some serious cash, and then you're saying, oh well, you gotta wait, man. You gotta just wait a couple more. How long are people gonna keep waiting for stuff that they should have already gotten? Because if you look at other countries, like I said, they've already gotten this stuff. So that's my opinion on it. I hope my hope and my wish is that both of them, progressives or whatever, and regular independent media and whatnot, can come together, work together for a common goal, which is, forcing the politicians to actually do what it is that they promised and what they campaigned on. But you can't, if you're not willing to do so, then, nothing's going to get done. That's just what it is. There's no sugarcoating it. That's what it is. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. That's how I feel about it.